So hey, let's make us some pizza, okay? Gonna need a bowl, kitchen scale, measuring bowl, cup, salt, dish, and most importantly, some instant yeast and some good quality type 00 bread flour. Red wine optional, but highly recommended. Okay, first thing we're going to do is whisk together our flour, salt, and yeast in this bowl. So flour, we need 20 ounces, which is about 4 cups. Close enough. So we've got our flour, set that aside. Next we need 0.4 ounces of salt. Close enough. And we need 0.3 ounces of instant yeast. So about 0.3 ounces of this is roughly the same as using one of these instant individual packs. Okay. So whisk the dry ingredients together. Okay, now we're gonna get our hands dirty. So we need to work in this water until it is fully incorporated into the dry mix. I recommend doing it in probably at least half at a time, sometimes a third. Just want to add some water in and just start working it around. Okay, now we've about got our nice thick doughy consistency here. So, what I'm gonna do is clean our hands off. Sometimes the best way to clean your hands is actually some dry flour. Okay, I've got our dough. So the last thing we need to do is seal this tight with some press and seal for overnight for 8 to 12 hours. So I'm doing this in the evening and we're gonna let this sit overnight. So let's go ahead and seal this off. I'm going to wipe the edge of this off to get a better seal. Okay, should be sealed nice and tight, like a drum. And we will set this aside in a preferably somewhat dark area and let it sit overnight, and we'll revisit in the morning. Okay, so now we have let this dough sit on the countertop overnight for 8 to 12 hours. So we're going to take it out and cut it into 2 pieces and put them in these Ziploc bags so that we can refrigerate them for at least for the rest of the day, or preferably up to 3 or 4 days. I like to do mine a couple extra days. Okay, I've got myself a lightly floured surface here, so I'm going to remove this. So you can see how much that's risen overnight. So we're just going to drop that out, and we're going to roll it around in the flour to keep it from sticking too much. So before I put these in the bags, I'm going to knead it for just a little bit. Okay, that's all you gotta do. Take chunks, put them in Ziploc bags. Okay, gonna leave them in the fridge here until I'm ready to use them, either later today or in a few days. Okay, so you're going to want to take this out of the fridge the day you intend to make it, at least a few hours before you're ready to bake, so that it has time to come up to room temperature. And let that come up to room temperature for a few hours. Okay, before we even start making our pizza, we want to come here and preheat our oven to the highest it can go, about 45 minutes to an hour beforehand. 550 is max for me. I highly recommend a pizza stone, or better yet, you can see I have a 3/8 inch thick slab of steel in here that I bake my pizzas on. Okay, our dough is up to room temperature, and our oven is nice and hot, so I'm going to start prepping the ingredients and get it going. First, I've got some fresh basil leaves here that I'm going to chop up, and we're going to put on the pizza after it is finished baking. And I've got some spicy soppressata here from the deli, but you could just as easily substitute pepperoni, salami, anything sort of in this category. And I've got some fresh mozzarella, pre-sliced, just makes it a little easier. And a little bit of this Italian cheese blend just to add on top. And of course, some pizza sauce. Okay, so we're gonna roll this dough out into our final pizza shape before we transfer it on something to load into the oven. It obviously does not have to be a perfect circle. That wasn't obvious. So we transfer our dough onto some sort of something that can transfer it into the oven. I don't have a pizza peel, so I'm using some sort of makeshift wooden serving board that make sure you get it nice and floured underneath. Okay, so we're gonna put a little bit of sauce on. It's always gonna be less than you think. You do not want too much sauce. I'd say you probably want to stay about a ½ inch from the edge, from the crust, with their sauce. Next, I'm going to put on some slices of cheese. These are quite large, so I sometimes break these in half. And I'm gonna add my spicy soppressata. Once you get the dough made, you can of course use any combination of toppings you prefer. We've got a buffalo chicken variety here that we're going to throw in as well. Okay, we are ready to transfer this into the oven, so let's see how it goes. Pizza peel here would be ideal. Slide it off if I can. Okay, we're gonna put this in here just for a few minutes. I do a few minutes with the oven on, and then towards the end, I'm gonna switch it over to the broiler and put the broiler on high to finish it off. Okay, after about 5 or 6 minutes there, I'm gonna switch this off, put the broiler on high to finish it off for another minute or two. And it should be good to go. Okay, let's see how it looks. Grab our pizza tray, slide it on. There she is. But nice and firm on the outside. Okay. Sprinkle some basil on here. And personal preference here, but I'm a big fan of adding some spicy honey as a drizzle on top. Sit for a minute and we'll slice it up. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Go make some pizza.